I do want to respond to two things you brought up. The first thing of being deception and him being a magician, and definitely saw that in at least the third gen material. He would do stuff, funny stuff, just silly stuff while we're flowing, right? We would flow, and then instead of like giving a feed or a strike, he would just stick his hand out to shake your hand, that type of shit. And you're just like so confused as to like, what do you want me to do? And then you're just like, he was like, "Oh, you did good. You did good." Yeah. Just silly stuff like that. Or he would look outside in the patio and see someone's at the door, and then you'd be like, "Oh, who's there?" And then he would do the thing. And it's just that idea of deception, but also distraction and things that magicians do is just basically distractions.
Just to add to that, Greg, I think you guys were part of this whole thing. It might have started with Jason, but you guys were always messing with each other that if you dropped a knife or a stick, you would pick it up, right? And so the other guys will hit you to tell you that you better pay attention to everything else. Now, that was prolific. You guys did that a lot back in your generation. I think that might have happened with Jason already because you were always aware of stuff.
We had one very specific thing is a lot of what we did was almost nose to nose.
Nose to nose, right?
And starting here.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
Right? And so you're reading everything by like looking, you're not staring right at the person, you're kind of staring like around the person and then like waiting for movement kind of thing.
Right.
So yeah, if you're doing that and you're talking to somebody you're unsure about and something falls on your foot, and you look down and you're done. And that was like he'd do a lot. He had all kinds of stuff along those lines. He'd be able to flick pennies off the what's the word for the thing you keep the food in, the refrigerator, that thing. Because he'd be standing face to face and the refrigerator's off to the side, and we'd be like, looking at each other, and I just you hear this like ping, but it would be from there, and I'd be like, don't move, but he, like little crap like that stuff is 80%. If you're in that part of the world, that's
right.
80% of winning.
Absolutely.
That initial,
reading.
And that, So anyway, so like I said, it was from here to here. So yeah, there was all those kinds of things trying to get you off topic and trying to get you looking around or trying to get you, like what was that,
Yeah.
I think that was in everything that he did because, like, let's say Sonny and I would go into a restaurant and we would just go sit down, right? And he would ask, "What did you see?" without looking, right? Without turning and confirming what you saw. Did you see the guy there? Did you see he was left-handed or eating right-handed? I mean, little conversations like that. What about the door? What did you see? I mean, so just getting you to where you can go, always be looking, right? And just to train you to start looking like that, not to be unaware of anything else, right? So what did you see? What did you notice? Did you see how many people were in the back of you now or in the table? Stuff like that. You just walk in and you sit down, you order blah, blah, and then did you notice all these things? Did you notice an exit door? That kind of stuff. I think that was the beginning of, and just being aware. And by the time it got to you, it became playful. It became playful to where you guys, I got you, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And you start playing.
Yeah.
So you guys, he was just in heaven with you guys at the third gen. He was just
I'm happy that he was able to have fun and I'm happy to be a part of it and I'm happy to hear that he was in a happier place with third gen, and I'm happy to just be a part of it. I think what we're all kind of describing is what modern people, especially in tactics, talk about, of just being aware, situational awareness, but also just observing your surroundings and then orienting yourself to the surroundings, which is called OODA loop, I think, what people would refer to that. But Sonny was doing it before I even heard of it, it sounds like. And The other things too was just like sometimes he would just stand like this, and I forget what conversations we were having. It's like, when people were like that, you can just kind of be like, talk like this, because your hands are up and prepared, and perhaps closer to a tool by doing this. And so a lot of it was really like, how do you read the situation before it actually happens and unfolding? And I know at least in science, kind of skills acquisition science, there's a thing just that they refer to as read, plan, and do, which again kind of tracks with, OODA loop is just reading and this whole idea of seeing. And I remember him saying like, I'm teaching you how to see. And a lot of it with flow-based stuff was that. But then even before engagement, it sounds like I'm teaching you how to read and see, just by Renato's example. The other thing I wanted to bring up too was the whole 80-20. 80-20, is that math? Yeah, okay. The 80-20, that idea of like, I'll take you 80% of the way. I don't know if it was because I was young at the time or this was the kind of where he was at with the material. But I do remember feeling like, okay, we're learning a lot of this root movement stuff. And when he would show us, this is what it looks like in different expressions. And then that's when he would just run off a series of techniques, and me and Jay would just be like, oh, that's cool. It's like, oh, it was just mind-blowing of all variations you can do from this one root movement that he showed us. And I think that speaks to the 80-20 thing, but also just internally feeling like, okay, I know this thing, but then when I have fights or encounters in the street, how does it apply? I remember thinking to myself, thinking like, how do I connect all of this, and how is this fighting? And and it wasn't until I was older that I have to start teaching this stuff that I have to make sense of it and really understanding like, oh, okay, this is the work that he showed us, but the rest of it you do have to do, otherwise you won't arrive to these points of your own expression that is honest. And that's why I say VSCK is kind of the long way in a sense, because he'll give you the root movements to arrive to your own techniques to these certain problems, and you come up with your own solutions. And so I do appreciate it, but I wish someone told me that ahead of time so I can expedite my learning and I can ask the right questions, because I didn't know. I have so many questions still to ask him, and I just wish he was here so I could ask him. But so that's what comes up for me for that. And I could certainly testify to that.